transcending history and the world, a tale of soul and swords, eternally told.
So when I first thought to myself, back in 1996 when I played this game, is this where I want to be in 21 years? And here in 2017, the fact is, yes, this is exactly where I want to be in 21 years, says 9-year-old Jeffrey to 30-year-old Jeffrey. Alright, so here we have it, Soul Blade, the greatest 3D fighter of the 90s. And I can tell you why in many reasons, because it's absolutely superior in every possible way for a fighter back in 1996. Originally released in the arcade in 1995, it was ported to Japan in 1996 and in North America in early 1997. Now, something that this game is just perfection in every possible way. I'm a diehard Virtua Fighter fan. I'm huge on Tekken, and this game is just so much smoother than all of those put together. Let's go with Wei Long, which is one of my favorite characters to use. But you'll just see graphically right here. I mean, it is just phenomenal looking. And you know, back in the time when these games were fairly a new concept, you know, with the Virtua Fighter 2 on the Saturn and stuff, as awesome as they were, they tend to be just a little clunky, a little on the clunky side. This, however, isn't clunky at all. I mean, it's just, and the sad thing is I remember in 96, 97 when this game came out, everybody was talking about Tekken, everybody was talking about Virtua Fighter, but this game never really came up. I mean, it was like, even Battle Arena Toshinden was more popular than this at the time, and they were all such clunkier games. Just really, really, just blows my mind how that works. And I also really like how the moves just kind of fade into each other, you know? Like I said, you have that clunkiness on other games where it just seems like it's just a button masher. And in a lot of ways, this kind of is a button masher. But if you know your moves right, you can do grapple moves and stuff, and it's just really brought together. Another thing that I find really awesome on this game is the backgrounds are so extensive. I mean, it's just, you don't see this kind of background on any game at the time. Ooh, Valdo. Also one of the coolest looking characters in the game, but the toughest to master. He's a very strange person to control on the game. And, you know, throughout all the games, it doesn't get much easier. But if you actually know what you're doing with him, he is fucking awesome. Punished. And Valdo is my dominatrix. Oh, you son of a... You dirty so-and-so. Oh, yeah. Looks like we're at least getting off to a good start here. Oh snap, the crazy Korean, at it again. I almost feel that I should turn this difficulty up a little bit and stomp on your chest, as it were. Now Siegfried here, it is really cool if you know the Soul Calibur series, because we all know the character Nightmare. Well, Siegfried is basically the one that you're not necessarily supposed to beat the game with, but at the end of it, he grabs the blades and he turns into Nightmare, and that's how the spur of that character kind of started off. So here we see 16-year-old innocent Siegfried, and then he becomes an evil psychopath, so I'll stomp on his chest. So yeah, Siegfried is Nightmare, Nightmare is Siegfried. Finkel is Einhorn. yourself there, pal. Rock's another cool character, but I think he kind of made a dick move on this game, because in the opening video, you clearly see that he has a child that he supposedly cares about, and they make it all. But at the end of this game, you choose not to go back home and like keep traveling or some shit like that. It's like, what a terrible father. But he does have a very cool axe. And I'll stomp on his chest. Go. Off the cliff. Off the cliff. I'm being cheap. You want to block like a lady? Uh-oh. It's my evil twin. Lee Short. Oh, you asshole. That was a pretty cool move, though. As long as I continue with the chest stomp, I can't lose, right? As it were. Oh, I'm being so cheap. The things I do to get a decent game review going. I can't believe I'm already at stage 7. This is kind of chest stomp. I'm just glad that I have proper experience in this game as a child to where I can at least get through most of the game without too much trouble, even if old Lee Long kills me here, which he didn't. Lee Long? Climbing up the ladder. I think this may be the second to last guy because he's an asshole. And a blocker. Another thing I like about Soul Blade, the precursor to Soul Calibur, is that on this game, if they block too much, they end up losing their weapon and end up becoming worthless. So I tend to not block in this type of game. I like more fluidity, I guess. Lee Long? Still want to know what that translates to. I wonder if it's something nice, like, you have nice shoes. Your hair is immaculate. Oh, that was not nice. Well, this is getting off to a bad start. Can already tell my girlfriend's gonna hate me in the editing process of this. Oh, this is not good. Oh no. Keep in mind, guys, this is on an easy setting too. Game's not a joke, so I'm gonna have to do cheap shots to get her out of this ring. That's what I get. Oh no. She's pissed now too. Oof. Aha. Just a good time. Oh shit, here we are, Cervantes. And I forgot to mention earlier, and it may be harder to hear on here, but the soundtrack to this game is just amazing. And this guy is nearly impossible. Even funnier yet is, he's pretty much harder than the boss sometimes. Especially if you lose the first time you fight him, and then have to fight him again. He just seems to continually get harder and harder and harder and harder. Ooh, that was a little dirty. Come on. Oh, and he's gonna hit. And this is what I'm talking about. He just seems to get progressively more and more difficult. Meaning that if I lose this time, I'm probably gonna rip every hair out of my head. But we'll see. Ah! Now for the final test. Let's see if my copy of Soul Blade works on my Sega Saturn. Because this would really make this the best possible game. Disc unsuitable for this system? What kind of bullshit is this? Oh well.